Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time coming, my name is Carrie and I'm a mother to 4 kids, and in today's video I just wanted to share something that has helped motivate my kids to read more on their own. So stick around if you're interested. Alright, you guys get to see a new corner of my home, and this is my cute husband in the corner here. You can see a picture of him. But today I'm going to be sharing about something called the Mom Store. And this isn't something that I came up with on my own, but it is something that we've been using for about 4 years now in our home, and it has worked amazingly in helping encourage my kids to read more on their own. So what I'll do is I'll first kind of show you the Mom Store and explain what it is, and I'll share how we use it in our home. And then I'll give some ideas about other ways you can use it or maybe tweak it to work for you in your home. And then if you stick around long enough, I'll share our story and why it works so well. Okay, so this is the Mom Store. Ta-da! It is essentially a box of yummy snacks. It's a reward system for not learning how to read. It's a reward system for reading. So like I said before, I didn't come up with this idea. It came from Ralphie who some of you may know on Instagram as Simply on Purpose. So I'll link her blog post down below about how their family uses it. She has some printables, or at least they were free. That's where I like this little label here, and then the tickets that I use inside I got from her. I don't know if they're still free, but I'll link the blog post down below so you can go check that out. Okay, so how does the Mom Store work? So let me give you a look inside. So my kids earn 1 Mom Store ticket for every 5 minutes that they read. So I have these little tickets. Just look like this. Those say ticket on it. They're laminated so they don't fall apart. And they keep track of their reading with these little timers. They just go and grab one. They can push start. Whoops. They push start, and then they push stop. And they can tell me how long they've read for. And they each have a little baggie with their name on them, and I just give them a ticket for every 5 minutes. And then they can come and buy a snack from the Mom Store using their tickets. So this is only open though once a day, and it's during our afternoon snack time. So if they have tickets, they can buy snacks from here. If they don't have tickets, they just get whatever afternoon snack I make. But the Mom Store stuff is always way more exciting. But I do try to pick things that are semi-healthy with either like little or no sugar, because this is not meant to be like a sugar bin. It's just supposed to be fun snacks that they wouldn't be eating otherwise. And they can earn tickets anytime. But the Mom Store is only open during the afternoon, and it's only open Monday through Friday. So weekends, Saturday and Sunday, the Mom Store actually doesn't open. I'll show you kind of what's in here. Cheddar bunnies, little graham crackers. And this is always changing. It's kind of whatever's on sale. Like these are on sale at Costco. I usually go to Target and buy stuff too. My kids love these little drinks. They're basically carbonated water. I try to keep it fun and exciting. But most of these are 5 tickets, with the exception of the gum. The gum, I just have these be 2 tickets each. And you can put bigger items in here if you want and make them more. You can put smaller items in here, make it less. But that's just kind of what we usually do. And so what do you do if you have a kid that's not yet reading? Because I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old who are both not yet reading yet. So my 2-year-old, actually, I'll let her get a free snack. When we open up the Mom Store, she gets a free snack. And then my 4-year-old will earn tickets by listening to audiobooks. And so he either will have someone read to him, or he'll grab our Yodo Mini, and that's usually how he earns his tickets. But my older kids who can read, they don't get points if they listen to audiobooks. They only get points for actually reading. And I'll explain why that is later, because that has to do with our story. Okay, so there's different ways of obviously doing the Mom Store. So Ralphie, the creator, or the person that I got the idea from, she actually only does the Mom Store during the summertime. So this would be a great time to try it, because summer's coming up. So it'd be an awesome time to just try it out to see how it works for your family. So they only do it during the summer, and the Mom Store only opens for an hour every day during their assigned reading time. And they have snacks that they can they have snacks they can buy to eat while they read. They also put stuff in there like a stuffed animal you can rent while you read. Or they'll put like bigger ticket items like lunch with dad and a little coupon inside the Mom Store. and then I just price it higher, like 20 tickets. So there's definitely some variations that you can do. We actually tried doing it for like a set amount of time, for like an hour, and it just didn't work. So we ended up just tweaking it to make it work for us. And that's what's really cool. It's like you can really make it work for your family. The only things I don't recommend is like putting toys in there for the kids to buy. Like renting them out, I think is awesome, but putting them in there to buy, I think it's really hard to keep up with that. And then plus you just end up with a lot of little toys all over the place. So I feel like that's really hard to keep up. And then just making sure you don't attach it to behavior. It's not meant to be a behavior system. It's meant to be a book system, if that makes sense. One thing that I did forget to mention is I do put a cap on how many snacks you're able to buy from the mom store per day. So we do 2 snacks max, and then I also say 2 gum. So if you wanted to use your max for the day, 2 snacks and 2 gum. But usually my kids just buy 1 snack. My oldest will buy 2 snacks usually because he usually has more tickets. But anyway, I wanted to get to our story and why I started implementing the mom store in the first place. So let me go back a few years to when my oldest, who is now 9 years old, when he was little. So when it came to reading, I did all the things that you're supposed to do with little kids, right? You're supposed to model reading to them. You're supposed to provide books. You're supposed to read to them a lot and expose them to a lot of different literature. You go to the library, just make it exciting. So I did that, and my son loved reading. He would sit and listen to me read for as long as I would listen, or I would read to him. And he would even bring me a book, like sometimes in the morning. At like 2 years old, he'd be like, Mom, read book. And so he loved reading. And I was like, he's gonna be so excited to learn how to read when he reaches that age. Just really excited to teach him. And we did do a little bit of a preschool program. We did The Good and the Beautiful. But when it came time to actually reading in kindergarten, he had 0 desire. He did not want to learn how to read. And I was so bummed. I mean, I could go into a whole video of the things that we did to help him learn how to read. But the short story is we basically played a lot of games our kindergarten year and just tried to make reading fun and kept it really, really light and simple. And then first grade, we started implementing a Charlotte Mason based reading program, 100 Gentle Lessons in Sight and Sound, which I have a review of that on my channel if you're interested. So we did those things, and it wasn't so much like a developmental thing. Like, he was ready. The issue was that he just wasn't willing to work. It was hard for him. It didn't come naturally like math did for him. And so he didn't want to put in the effort. So not a developmental issue, but rather like a work ethic issue. So I needed something that was going to help motivate him to want to read. And that's when I started implementing the mom store. And in the beginning, it was a little bit slow because he wasn't reading very much. He was little. And so that's why I did like the amount of time rather than like, if you read this many pages, you get this many tickets. I just said, if you read this for this amount of time, you get this many tickets, because I just wanted to see effort. I just wanted to see him trying. And audiobooks didn't count because he was already listening to audiobooks. He loved audiobooks. He would listen to hours and hours of audiobooks easily. And so that wasn't the issue. It was just getting him into the books and having him practicing the decoding. That was really what we needed. And he's 9 years old now. This is our last week of school right now, and he's finishing up his 3rd grade year, and he loves reading, you guys. He loves to read. In fact, last summer, he was reading at 5th grade reading level. Don't think his comprehension is quite that high, but that was last summer, and I think he's just growing, and he's currently reading, he's on the 5th book of Harry Potter right now. And so all this to say is this has just been such a blessing in our lives. We do a couple things during the summer as well to kind of just extra like enhance that. But the mom store has really been something steady that we've been using for several years now. And I know some parents are a little bit hesitant to bring in a reward system, especially like attached to reading. And I think you can easily go overboard and just like overdo it with buying like too much stuff or like making it too easy to earn things. So I think you have to be careful. But something to think about is that even as adults, we actually receive rewards for a lot of the things that we do. So like you go to work because you get paid. We clean our house because it feels good to have clean things. We wash our dishes so that we can have clean dishes. We obey traffic laws because we get to keep our licenses. So there's already a lot of things that we do that have rewards built into them without even us realizing it. And I think some kids naturally will read because that intrinsic reward just comes because it feels good. And other kids, I think, need that extrinsic, that like mom store or something extra to get to the point where they can feel that internal intrinsic reward. And Ralphie, the person that I got this idea from, she actually talks about it. And so I'll finish off reading a quote from her blog. She says, "I think a lot of us feel like our children should have an intrinsic desire to read just for the love of reading because most adults get it. But the reality is that most things don't become rewarding in and of themselves until you've been given lots of exposure and positive experiences with that thing. The Mom Store works so well as a positive reinforcing system by slowly creating an intrinsic love for reading because it gets the behavior going in the right direction." And I have seen that, you guys, I've seen that work. It has become an intrinsic thing for my son and for my second one as well. Like, it's becoming just fun. Like, I see them both picking up books all the time now, not even grabbing timers and just reading because they love it. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching and happy reading. Bye.